Hello and welcome to possibly the last Warface video that you will see on my channel. In this video I want to particularly thank everyone for having made this journey so memorable. It's been almost a decade. It's been more than a decade since I started playing the game and since I have recorded my first video that you can see here in the background. As you can also see, back then the game looked a bit different in many respects. And also the gameplay of the weapons was different. And the weapon stats were different. And the game ecosystem was different from... And actually also the name is different from what it is today. Right now it's called Warface Clutch. I don't even know what that clutch stands for. When I started playing Warface it was just called Warface. And maybe, well, free-to-play shooter, Warface, but not Clutch. But I mean, many things have changed. I believe my voice has also to some extent changed, and certainly my English has. I still cringe when I hear my old pronunciation of some words, but I hope you can bear with me, because this is not even the cringiest.
The Accuracy 7. Many people already ask themselves, is that weapon a sniper or is that a shotgun? Well, I've got the answer for you. It's both.
Well, but at least I was right that this shotgun is indeed kind of a sniper shotgun. And I kind of hope that nowadays I actually pronounce accuracy correctly, because I feel like I've still got problems for some reason pronouncing this particular word, which is kind of funny. I mean, we probably all have that with some word or the other. But anyways, I mean, isn't it amazing to see those old weapons in action? Actually, it kind of gives me nostalgia. Then, at the same time, there was this problem that Warface was kind of, well... I mean, there were kind of lots of hackers. And I also remember that I actually had to make some videos private. Luckily I didn't delete them, so I now republished them. Because back then my.com told me, oh hey, you're in our network now. You are one of our creators in our creator network. You shouldn't have videos that make Warface look bad, so please remove them. And well, that's what I did. I had all those videos on private, but now, of course, that the game is closing down, I'm republishing all those videos, and I hope you can enjoy them one last time, or well, actually for all eternity, for as long, at least, as YouTube is live. Let's hope that YouTube won't shut down that fast, but when looking at Google's at Alphabet Incorporation's balance sheet and income statement, it actually currently doesn't really look that way.
Alright, let's go to the bank.
So, hello and welcome to this video. Small warning before I start this video. If you haven't got an IQ over 1000, this video might blow up your brain. Shit is gonna get real in this video. Yesterday, in a stream, we found out that Warface and my.com are part of the Illuminati, and Kiwi, K-I-W-I...
Oh my god, I actually don't know how I came up with that kind of stuff. Now that I'm looking at it, it's just... what did I generate? What sort of AI did I use back in 2016 or 17? But yeah, no, that was just my teenage brain making up some weird stuff. But actually, it's kind of funny, to be honest, to watch that now. And I mean, if you remember, during that time, this whole Illuminati choking thing was actually kind of trendy. So that's what I kind of tried back then to imitate. But anyways, hey, come on. The meme was good, right? Now, what I also want to use this video for is to mostly just show you some old moments. You can already see in some of those clips, sometimes the user interface looks different from what it looks like today in Warface, like the hit markers and all that stuff. It changed a little bit over the time. But what I also really want to mention is just the favorite weapons that I had They also changed often, as I already said. Warface kept on bringing new weapons in and then buffing and nerfing weapons like crazy. It always changed. The good thing is there was always content for me to create, so I always had something to talk about. But it was not necessarily nice for everyone in the game because you always had to adapt to new things. But it had some change. There was some change in Warface, which was, I think, good. So the honorable mentions that I just want to give now are pretty much my favorite weapons. So as a standard weapon for the rifleman, it was, I would say, actually, the AK-103, or back then it was called FY-103. Because if I think back to it, the gameplay with it, the feeling of playing with it was just unmatched, unparalleled by any other weapon. Then later on came also the ARX-160 or RGX-160. You see, back in my days, the weapon names were also different.
Oh! And I'm not getting headshots, you see, because with that weapon you don't really need to aim at the head, because, I don't know, it's just doing so much damage.
And then also the M16A3, that was also a pretty cool weapon, or M16A4. I think it was called R16A4 at some point. They also changed the name of that one, but it was a pretty cool weapon. And I believe it probably still is a cool weapon, but I haven't played with it in ages. And actually now talking about the medic, we will get to my probably happiest, most exciting moment in Warface. I remember the way I shook after I did that ace in an ESL Cup. I think it was the semi-final, or even it was the final, I think, in the 4th ESL Cup, if I remember correctly, in Warface. Yeah, you heard correctly, there were some ESL Cups, and we won that cup, and in one of those rounds I did this amazing ace with the Benelli Nova something weapon. Wait, actually, Richmond Nova Tactical, that was its old name.
Two more.
We win the round. Enemy team eliminated. Deploy the bomb. Round.
Well, and it was within those international teams where you also learned the best vocab, the best words. Jasper, Yekenek Koken, or in Russian, Privyet, как дела, Machina, Machina, and Teshekuler. Those were, of course, all the words that you would learn. Now, actually, not really. Like, there are many words, more vulgar words that I learned too, but I won't mention them for now. Well, and then before we kind of get to the end of the video, does anyone actually remember Warface Mobile? This funny mobile game that you could play on your phone, which kind of looked like Warface. Well, it was Warface, obviously, for the mobile version, but like, I literally only played it this one time to record that video. Got some views, and that was it, because it was actually not fun to play it. I enjoyed the computer version, but I mean, that's what this entire video is kind of about. And 3 years ago, I mostly quit and haven't really played a lot since. And now that it's the end, I'm finally playing it a couple of times again. Furthermore, another, I thought, kind of funny thing is maybe to just have a look at some of the box opening moments that I've recorded back in the day. So, hope you enjoy. From promoting the game, I get credits each month. Oh wait! What? That's good! That's good, boy! That's my boy! That's a good game, man! That's good! That's some good stuff! Like, that's better than some really good weed, right? Like, that's some good stuff. That's good, and I hope I'm not too loud. Let's see if I actually get something. Be nice, but I don't know. What? East Kurva! Hey! Look at that! I think it's my lucky day or something like that. I'll definitely do a highlights thing out of this stream. I'll definitely do that. I would like to have it in gold. I have already got it in normal. I don't need it anymore. How much more luck do I have in this video? Like, this video here just serves this purpose that it's for me to kind of say goodbye to the game, goodbye to everyone who was in this amazing community, and I just want to kind of highlight that, which was, I think, what made Warface special for most of the players that have been in the game for a long time. It was not really necessarily it was the game itself to some extent that we loved, but it was really the community that we built on top of playing the game, on top of playing together, on cooperating to win clan wars and so on. It was this kind of community that we built where we found friends, had nice interactions, met some of the people even in real life, and just shared some nice moments, had a good time playing the video game. And also beyond that, despite all the bugs, despite all the hacks, it was still a kind of good time. I must say, and it's kind of sad to see actually how this game hasn't really worked. Like, so many bugs were not fixed, but sometimes made worse. Then the hacker problem was only fixed after a really long time, and so many other things that were just not enjoyable about the game eventually made many of the people leave. And in the end, it also kind of seemed to me and to some others that Warface just kind of became a cash cow to drain some more money out as long as it's somehow possible, and then shut the servers down. That was the feeling for some of the people that I've talked to who have played more recently than me. I have kind of quit the game 3 years ago already, and back then, to be honest, I already had this kind of feeling a little bit. But of course, at the same time, the problem is the player base was just really low, so economically this game couldn't survive that long anyways if there is not some way to incentivize the player base to keep spending money, or to get new players who would invest new money into the game. But of course, as all things have to come to an end, this game's end also draws near. And I thank everyone for having watched this channel, having followed my journey in Warface, and now in the future you may also hear on my other adventures that I've undertaken over the years where I was really inactive here on YouTube. Thank you all for watching this video, thank you all for being part of this journey, and hopefully see you some other time. Goodbye!